Okay, so I wanted to do a quick video to kind of share where my head's at and what I'm trying in terms of growth for my newsletter, English Byte, which is just a newsletter about English for non-native programmers. So here's what I'm going to try, and this is kind of inspired by scientific advertising. This idea of trying these little experiments, measuring the results, to figure out what is the conversion rate, and then kind of leaning hard into one of these. So I've come up with four different approaches or tactics. I'm going to open up this template so you can kind of see. Okay, so the first is a cold DM. Obviously, they have to have DMs turned on or follow me. And I'm going to be messaging people in Spanish, so that's why this is in Spanish, but it's basically just saying, hey, how are you doing? If I'm not mistaken, you're a developer and you're learning English also, right? I wanted to share my newsletter, my free newsletter with you in the situation that it's interesting to you. So that's approach number one. Approach number two is tweeting at. So with this, I just go to their profile and I click tweet, and so it'll start the tweet with their name. So it won't be in my feed. It'll just show up in their notifications, hopefully. Same kind of message. You're learning English, right? I have a free newsletter. Maybe it's interesting to you. Adding to a list. So this is another tactic. I'm not certain it's going to work really well, but I started a Twitter list, and when somebody adds you to a list, you get a notification. So big, bright, I've got the cover photo. The name of the list has the URL in it. The description has it. My name has it, right? So, again, trying to get them to see it a lot. And it's interesting because I just started adding people randomly, and people have the option to follow it. And some of the people started following it, which is kind of cool. But the other approach to this, which I could try later, is just liking all these tweets. Because then they start to see my name and that kind of thing. So, but for the experiment, all I'm going to do is add them to the list, nothing else. Asking to share. So this will either be through DM or I'll just tweet at them and be like, hey, can we help each other? I'll help you with your English and you help me share my newsletter with your friends. How's that sound? Okay, so those are the four tactics. So if we go back, what I've done is, I can't remember which tweet it was, but I found a tweet about learning English as a developer. I scraped it just manually. I just grabbed 50 names, or 40 names, I guess. And so I have 10 people, 10, 10 people in each group that I'm going to try, which is a small number, but I'm doing this on top of a full-time job, so I'm just working with what I got. And so the plan is basically each day this week, so Monday through Friday, I'm going to do one experiment. So today I might do the cold DMs. I won't do anything else on Twitter. I'll mark them as contacted, and then at the end of the day, I'll see, hey, did they subscribe? And so the way that I'm going to check that, it's just going to be kind of guessing. I'll look at the number of subscribers. I'll look at who subscribed today at the end of the day. And I'll see if there's a correlation between their name and a new email sign up. I added these other columns for later, but when I add people to this list of hey, I'm going to target them as a potential customer, I want to link the tweet that I got them from. So if it's I'll give you an example. This tweet has almost 7,000 likes. So I might grab people from this list. And so then in that column of source, I would just put the link to this tweet. And for the type of engagement, I would say oh, they it would be liked tweet. And another one could be commented on tweet. And then another one could be follower of account. Right? If I were to, go to this person, Luis, who's got 32,000 followers, So, a follower, trying to think what else there would be. Another one might be like quote tweet. And I think that's it in terms of, or like this tweet. Like basically my whole thinking is, if someone were to come to me and say, hey, Joe, I know you're working on this newsletter. I have a list of 100,000 people that might be interested in your newsletter on Twitter. Here's their profiles. If that were to happen today, I want to be able to say, okay, I know what to do. I'm going to use this tactic because it produces the highest conversion rate. And I'm going to use that to convert, let's say, 3% of that 100,000. Because what I've realized is I can get that 100,000 myself, right? Like, if I were to scrape everybody who liked this tweet or this one, I can do that. But I haven't figured out what is the best tactic. Because like this account that I'm using, I tweet in Spanish in it. It only has 300 followers, and I'm not tweeting a lot. Last time I tweeted was, yesterday, but besides that, a couple days ago. But anyways, the point is, I need data and evidence to support these tactics and figure out what is the best one. Once I've done that, through these like little experiments that I'm trying, then it's go time. And it's like, okay, let's use a tool. Let's scrape these 70,000 people. And then each day, let's do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and try and kind of automate it and make things quick. And so that's kind of my plan. If you have any thoughts, we'd love to hear them. I'll stop that there.